Hello, friends and fans, and welcome back to another riveting episode of Changing the Narrative. I am your co-host, Elizabeth, and here is my troublesome friend.
Hi, everybody, or should I say, g'day, Murray. And we
And
are we are in the weeds today, Lizzie. What are we talking about?
we are talking about this year's National Federation of the Blind Convention, happening July 3rd through the 8th in good old Austin, Texas.
Giddy up, y'all.
Stop. Stop. That was so bad.
That's so good.
Stop
Cowboy,
making me laugh.
Cowboy City. I used to work in Austin, Texas, Lizzie. I used to go there every week for 6 months. And I did go to Coyote Ugly. They had a Coyote Ugly in Austin, Texas. And when I walked in, they ripped my tie. I was in a suit and tie. They
Mhm.
ripped my tie off and hung it behind the bar. And it was my favorite tie. I had to sweet talk the bar girl to give me my tie back because I did not want it as a trophy in their store.
That's so funny. I was gonna say if it's still there, we could go break in and get it, but if you already
Yes.
got it back, that takes
Oh,
my
I did
fun plans
already.
away.
Sometimes I have to advocacy people. This is what we're talking about today. Advocacy. You have to advocate for yourself.
Well, I'm so impressed that you advocated for
I,
yourself.
I sure did.
It's
I
really
will
great.
not let somebody take my tie.
Not that time. Maybe next time. Next time you know to wear an ugly tie.
Next time, I don't wear any ties anymore. So
I was gonna say, I don't know if I've ever seen you in a tie.
I used to I was a CEO obviously and national
Yeah.
manager of big corporate companies once upon a time
Yeah.
and far ago, and I used to wear business suits every day.
There you go. Look at you dressing to the nines. If I
Now
could wear
I wear a
sweatpants every day, I
grey
would. So
grey
we're very
t-shirt
different people.
today, so it tells you where I rank the podcast. I
Hey,
got
it's
in big
okay.
trouble
You're in a
actually.
t-shirt and I'm in a Cubs jersey. We're living the crazy life.
You're in a what?
I'm in a Cubs jersey. It says Wrigleyville.
Oh, Cub jersey. Hey, the
Yeah.
Cubs haven't got off to the best start.
You
Neither have
know, we
neither of
win
the
some
Oakland
games, we
A's.
lose some games. That's
Yeah,
life. Yeah.
it's a roller coaster, right?
Yeah. This is a roller coaster that I choose to belt myself into. Once a fan, always a fan. You can't love them just when they're good. It's not how
Anyway,
being a
I'm not.
fan
I'm
works.
refusing to talk about baseball with you because you softed it and didn't go into our fantasy baseball league. I
Okay.
have to call you out in front of everybody that you're too busy and it's too important of a life to read 176 books in a year, and you can't just do a 5 minute lineup once a day in a fantasy baseball league with your buddy,
Okay, so first of all,
your mate from the
I read
land down under.
110 books last year. If you're going to insult me, do it factually accurately, please.
I did. All of those
Second,
things are
you said
factual.
176. I read
Okay,
110
110.
books. Okay.
Fantastic.
Two,
Hmm.
it's not the 5 minute lineup. Drafting makes me very anxious. I don't even like drafting fantasy football. Like, I'm actually debating not even doing fantasy football next year.
That's not an option. You're definitely going in my fantasy football league.
I'll do fantasy football. I won't do fantasy baseball.
Well, we've established that you won't
I
do.
know. I'm telling you right now, that's my commitment. I'll do fantasy football. I won't do fantasy baseball.
All right.
Deal?
Well, it doesn't really matter anyway because I'm going to win the league, and so you wouldn't have made a big difference anyway.
Well,
Uh,
and I'm going to teach blind tennis to people in Iowa, so you
you
already
are,
forgave me anyway.
you are.
Yeah.
Uh, I told you about the tennis court that somebody built in a barn, right? And they don't charge anything for it. It's free. I need to find out where this tennis court is in Iowa
You
because
do.
I saw a documentary on ESPN about it actually,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
so we need to go there to
Yeah.
do tennis demonstration. I reckon.
Okay, cool. If it's near Iowa City, that's where our Coralville is where our state convention is this year.
Excellent,
Yep.
fantastic. I just spent a week in a workshop with 18 students who have blindness and low vision, and we did AI and all about AI. Lizzie would have loved it.
I would have hated every second of it, but thank
I
you so
know.
much for sharing that with me anyway.
That's awesome. Um,
Speaking of
okay,
state conventions, should we launch in a national convention?
let's launch into national convention, Lizzie. And this will be my third national convention. I attended national convention in Orlando was my first one
Hmm.
3 years ago, and then last year in New Orleans.
Hmm.
I have to say, New Orleans, Lizzie, was a bit of a cluster. I felt like I don't know how
It's a
you
busier
felt.
convention space.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
it's a
hotels were
much busier
across the
space.
road from each other, and
Yes.
I saw people trying to cross freeform and jaywalk across an 8 lane main road with cable cars coming up the middle, and I kind of got a little uncomfortable with it.
Yeah. And I'll be the first person to tell you, I don't even like that street crossing, and I've been through adjustment to blindness training. Like it was not a great time when we were there the first time in 2022.
Yeah.
I very intentionally tried to limit the amount of times I had to go cross that big old monster of a street. Not because it's like a capability capacity thing, just because it's very overwhelming to do it with a bunch of people who don't necessarily do it the right way, right?
Yeah.
Because then people who are around are like, "Oh, let me help you, let me help you." And it's like if I could just be left alone,
Right.
I'd feel more comfortable doing it, right? But
Yeah.
it was very chaotic. I'm really looking forward to the exhibit hall being in the main hotel this year, for sure. So
Me
that
too, because I've got an exhibit booth at the exhibit hall. So
for blind tennis,
for blind tennis, US
yay!
blind tennis.
I'll
If
come see you
you
at the blind tennis table.
Yeah, now we just have to go back a year because Lizzie said that she was going. I, out of the graciousness of my heart, attended her session
Mm-hmm.
and paid my membership dues out of respect
Mm-hmm.
for Lizzie.
Mm-hmm.
And and then what happened was when it time to
Mm-hmm.
come to tennis, Lizzie's like,
Mm-hmm.
"Yes, I'm definitely coming. I'm definitely going to be there." And then no, Lizzie.
And what was happening at the same time as blind tennis?
I don't know. You're probably out eating sushi with your friends or something.
First of all, I don't like sushi. And second of all, the Performing Arts Division Showcase of Talent that I was the master of ceremonies for, perhaps?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't sound right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll come up with a new excuse if I need to come up with a new excuse this year. But as soon as you have like a date time for workshops and stuff, you'll fill me in so that I
I
can
sure
make
will.
it a top priority
In
to be there.
fact, after this podcast recording,
Mhm.
I'm going
Mhm.
straight into a NFB Sport and Recreation board meeting where I will
Cool.
present our national championship plan.
That sounds phenomenal. Well, I can't wait to hear all about where I can come learn blind tennis.
Yeah, I want you actually to be a hockey goalie and I want a slap shot against you. Like that would be fun.
I think I might cry, but we can talk about that. We'll talk about that, I promise.
I'll get you a helmet. Be all right. It'll be
Ooh, can it be like monogrammed? Can I have my initials on it?
You can have whatever you want.
Ooh, okay.
Get ready for the slap shot. That's all I've got
I'm
to tell
open for this. Okay. So, Murray, let's start by just we're talking about all these really cool things that are happening, right? Let's talk about the order of the week, okay?
you. Yes,
So, National Convention is 6 days long. This year it's the 3rd through the 8th, which actually happens to be, I believe it's a Friday through a Wednesday, which is a
that's
little
correct.
odd. It's a little
Yeah.
odd, but we're rolling with it. We're ready for it, okay?
Yeah.
Um,
Can I just
the
ask you a
first,
question? Can we go back a
yes.
couple steps?
Yeah.
When did it appear to be a great idea to host one's national convention over 4th of July holiday weekend?
The biggest thing that I know we have a lot of attention to, we give a lot of attention to when securing our contracts, is when we can get rates that are feasible for our members, our
Mm,
attendees, right? Because the other thing that we have to battle against, whether we love it or not, is that there is an unemployment, underemployment rate that is ridiculously high for blind people. So we try and get hotels that are reachable, and a lot of the reachable costs are middle of summer in very warm locations.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now it's starting to make some sense.
Yeah. I mean, I ask the same question when I'm like, why are we in New Orleans in the middle of hurricane season, right? Like we have been there twice in the middle of hurricane season in the last 10 years. It's not ideal. We roll with it. We're very flexible people. People always say the F in National Federation of the Blind, NFB. We always joke that the F is for flexible. Newsflash, it's actually for federation. But yes, so that is the first answer to your question. Any other questions before we launch into our review?
I think I think we'll save other questions as we go along. I'm sure I'll have many.
Perfect.
One thing that I did neglect to tell people at the front end of the podcast is that I've been doing some analytics on our podcast, Lizzie, and guess what?
What?
We are up 28% month over month.
Hey, that's good.
More people are loving our discussions, Lizzie, and who can blame them, right?
Yeah, they just laugh at my online dating stories.
Man, that is definitely where the ratings come from for sure.
I'm here for the pod. I'm here for the
Yeah.
pod. Do it for the pod.
We're going to save the dating update until later because we don't want to spoil things and then people just leave, right? We want them to stay.
Absolutely. National convention is far more important than my dating life, guys.
Exactly. Yes,
Yeah,
I agree. Okay,
it
so
is.
tell us about the preface. One thing I love about National Convention is that,
Mhm,
3,500 to 4,000 people with blindness and low vision get together and
mhm.
do everything. There is so
Yes.
much choice
Literally. Yeah.
within the National Convention and so many sub branches of the federation at the convention. So Would you like to, being part of the fact that you are on the board of one of them, and I am as well, tell me about the history of the sub branches and how things kind of got to that point?
Absolutely. So, you're talking your form of sub branch is divisions. We've got a
Yes.
ton of different divisions. We've also got committees. We've got interest groups. I think the really beautiful thing about the National Federation of the Blind is if there is a group of people who want to talk about a profession, an interest, a concern related to blindness, there is a time, a place, and a space to do that. All of that is represented in the National Federation of the Blind's National Convention schedule. So, just to give a really quick and dirty version, and I will be the first person to admit, President Riccobono told me a couple of weeks ago there's some changes that are happening this year. I have not yet had a chance to listen to the presidential release from the beginning of March, in which he said he gives away some of those changes. So please know that this is Elizabeth's most up-to-date version. It is not the Federation's most up-to-date version. We stand to be corrected, is kind of what I'm foundationing with. Um, so convention is 6 days. The first convention day, which this year will be the 3rd of July, is usually a vocational rehabilitation professionals conference. That night, there is also the Rookie Roundup, which is a great place for first timers to go to better understand what is to come. The next day, the 4th of July this year, is what is called Resolutions Day. So the exhibit hall, which is this incredibly large, expansive place with tons of booths, tables, items for sale, vendors, snacks, anything and everything that you could ever want in relation to blindness, including US blind tennis, will be set up for folks to go in and visit, to buy things, to learn things, to explore new things. Super great place to be. That opens on the second day of convention. It is primarily open the second, third, and fourth days of convention. So in this instance, that'll be the 4th, 5th, and 6th of July. So morning, I always like to say go to the exhibit hall. It's one of the best places to go, or one of the best times to go because everything is still stocked. And then at 1 o'clock, usually early afternoon, there is a resolutions committee meeting. Resolutions are the policies that we as an organization decide to present to the convention floor for a vote or not present to the convention floor. And this is what I say this is what I'm referring to when I say that, there's a time and a space to explore your concerns. If there's a condemnation that needs to be offered, if there is a condonement that needs to be offered, if there's a question that needs to be asked, this is where we really get to kick those things around, or the resolutions committee gets to kick those things around. I always like to say there's always some drama. I bring popcorn every year, no exaggeration. I think it's just a great way to learn what's important to fellow people. Um, After the resolutions committee, I have to do a plug. The National Association of Blind Lawyers, which is a group I used to be a division board member for, is hosting our annual mock trial. And Murray, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, I've heard that the topic of this year's mock trial might be of interest to you based on some workshops and things you've been leading lately.
Oh,
But that's all the secret insider information I can give you because I'm still on the script writing committee.
sounds
Uh,
intriguing.
yes, so I'm very excited for that. Those are always really funny. Usually there's some hilarious sound effects
I
going
thought
on,
you were
and
going to talk about a reenactment of the First Fleet where England sent all of their convicts to Australia.
not this time. Maybe next
Oh.
time though. I'll give them that idea for
But you
sure.
know what? The joke's on them because they have to stay in England and we got to go to Australia.
It's true. It's true. After the mock trial, the other thing that traditionally happens on the second night of convention is the National Association of Blind Students meeting. NABS is one of the loudest and proudest divisions in the NFB, and they know that their members like to stay up late, not to get up early. So they actually get to be very special, and they have a division meeting on the second night of convention. We are hoping to have a student leader come on the podcast sometime soon in the next couple of months, weeks, months, whatever we're looking at now, to kind of walk us through what they're going to be doing at convention. But definitely don't want to miss that meeting. It's a room full of energy, which is always really invigorating, whether you're in your teens, whether you're in your 60s. You learn something new, which is always fun. Um,
Can we
Third
just
day of convention.
take a pause for a second? Uh,
Yes.
I would like to unpack NABS a little bit. Uh,
Okay, let's do
One of
it.
the things that I think is extremely important that we're
Hmm.
maybe not doing as well as we should is
Hmm.
preparing people to be able to understand the opportunities that lie within their state NABS
Okay.
organization and how they can become involved. And so, on the
Hmm.
last week in my workshop, we talked a lot
Hmm.
about opportunities as a teen to become more
Hmm.
involved in your community, and then also prepare yourself for things like internships and your
Hmm.
first job or further study. And so,
Hmm.
let's take a walk back in history to when you were in NABS and tell us a little bit about some of the things that you felt would be really important lessons in life that students would get out of NABS.
Okay. You're really testing my memory. I've been off of the NABS board almost 3 years now, which blows my mind to even say, because I was on the NABS board for about 4 years. Um, NABS is a room full of people with a lot of life experience. Okay. Um, like everything that we do and we talk about on this podcast, you get out of NABS what you put in. Um, there is a diverse plethora of NABS committees. There is a legislative and advocacy committee. There is a content creation committee. You could do anything from gain practical skills in podcast editing, sound engineering, to planning regional seminars from across the country or attending regional seminars from across the country where real discussions about resume building and finding internships and non-visual skills training are being had in a space where you can really ask those naive new questions without feeling shame in getting those, somewhat simple answers, right? I think NABS is a very welcoming space of people from all different walks of life, whether you're a high school student, whether you're a college student, whether you're a non-traditional student. Your opinion and your thoughts and your ideas are really valued in that space. Um, there's always work to be done. And if you are willing to, put in the time and effort to prove yourself as a reliable leader, there is a place for you at those tables, which in and of itself, right, can be put on a resume. I mean, my resume for the longest time was like I was a committee chair and I was on the board and I planned this regional seminar and I asked that leader this question and it exponentially grows, you're also making connections to different leaders and being put in these places where you can ask and ye shall receive, whether it's a question and answer, a task and a responsibility, a leadership position. If you look for it, you will find it in NABS.
I just think those opportunities are so vital to
Hmm.
someone's growth with blindness and low vision. And a lot of people ask, well, how did you get to be a CEO? And definitely, it's the hard work, and it's the first 90 days in the job, making the best
Yes.
impression you can, and all
Yep.
those things, learning your interviewing, having a good resume.
Yep.
But it's you as a person being a curious person, really,
Yep.
and it's about taking advantage of the opportunities that you're given. And as somebody who hires people, I can tell you that what I look for is
Hmm.
someone who has done extra things, who's hungry for knowledge, who wants
Yes.
to learn, who's a curious person. They're the
Yep.
types of people I typically employ,
Yeah.
and it's by design because um, I know that if you're doing a job like that, it's not just about things that you get paid for that you want to do, but it's
Hmm.
things that you're interested in and you're going the extra mile. And so that's, as an employer, what I want to see as well. So if you are blind or you have low vision and you're a teen, the first thing you need to do is get in contact with your state organization, join NABS if you're not a part of NABS,
Hmm.
and then attend meetings. Go to online virtual meetings to start with, listen maybe for the first meeting or two, get the lay of the lands, talk to some people who attend, and then
Yeah.
build your way through, and then you can be a board member like Lizzie.
Yep. And I will tell you, NABS busts its butt throughout the year to fundraise for people to be able to do in-person interactions, to attend and to learn in those settings. So not necessarily for national convention, but for something like Washington Seminar, which we've talked about previously on the podcast. NABS has a funding program. They help offset room expenses or flight expenses or food expenses. So it's not just, oh, we're doing work to be like everybody's biggest cheerleader and yay. It is work that yields results.
Yeah.
And like I said, if you're willing to put in the time and the effort and show that curious thinking, that nature, right, that Murray sees in his hires, there's a place for you at that table.
Yeah.
Your seat's waiting for you.
Absolutely. So get
Yeah.
involved, people.
Yes. Ready
Okay.
for day
Sorry,
three?
Lizzie. Day 3. Let's get
Okay.
back to
I'll
it.
just pause at the end of every day and ask you if you have questions. I'll be good.
Okay. Sounds good.
Um, Day three, which this year will be July 5th, Sunday, July 5th, is Division Day, Division and Board Meeting Day. So, our national organization's board has at least two in-person meetings per year, one of which takes place at National Convention. So, almost everything at convention shuts down on that third morning during the board meeting, right? Because that just shows you this is a high level of important, entity, information sharing, conceptualization. There's some pivotal presentations. There's a lot of really great updates. And traditionally, this is actually where President Riccobono has announced where our next convention will be. Obviously, we know this year, 2026, and next year, 2027, will be in Austin. 28 and 29 will be in good old Chicago, which means your girl gets to
Chicago.
drive instead of fly. And 2030 will be in Phoenix. So lots of great baseball cities coming up, Murray. Yeah, but we're not
Yes.
talking about baseball. So sorry,
Knock
sorry,
knock
sorry, sorry.
those stadium tours off your itinerary for sure. I've already been to both the Cubs Stadium and the White Sox Stadium, so it is.
Diamondbacks?
I have to tell you, going to Wrigley, right up there with Yankee Stadium for me.
Yeah, it's
Very good place to watch baseball.
yeah. Have you been to the Diamondback Stadium, Murray?
I have not actually, so
Okay,
definitely
so
Arizona.
2030, we're going to a game.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
Deal. Put
Phoenix.
it on
I've
the
never I've
books.
never actually been to Arizona. This is one of the few states
Ever?
I've not been to ever.
Oh, Phoenix is really hot. They have a cat cafe though. Anyway, we could talk about Phoenix next. Um,
You've
so
just
after the
turned me
board
off
meeting is
Phoenix
over,
for good.
after the board meeting is over, we go into a very, very busy afternoon. And frankly, a very busy evening where almost all of the divisions of the National Federation of the Blind, you can Google National Federation of the Blind division list, and you will find something that interests you. The Performing Arts Division, the Writers Division, the Blind Teachers Division, the National Association of Parents of Blind, or National Organization of Parents of Blind Children, the Science and Engineering, the everything, right? There is a division for everything. And all of these meetings are happening overlappingly. So it's a hard day to pick where you want to be. I will be at the Performing Arts Division meeting because I am our secretary and that is where my responsibilities lie.
I will be at the
Um,
Sport and Recreation Division meeting.
there you go. See, you can split your time. You can come hang out with me first and then Murray or Murray first and then me. But I think the really important thing here is there's so many opportunities to learn. To build that community and to become a part of those conversations about things that really interest you. And that's an incredible space, frankly. Full stop, right? Um, I will offer this year the Performing Arts Division. We're actually going to be doing a dance and movement workshop after our meeting, which I think really goes to that navigating spaces confidently, life skill. So if folks are interested in that, definitely stay tuned for that.
Can I just
What
ask, are
else?
you doing Just Dance or Dance Dance Revolution?
You keep asking me if there's going to be DDR, and I'm not in charge of the workshop, so I don't know. Show up
You're
and find
you're
out,
on the board. I mean, come on, you got to influence here.
Yeah, but hmm,
Hmm.
let me just scope out here if I'm allowed to tell you
Okay.
this.
Right.
So the Performing Arts Division of the National Federation of the Blind
Hmm.
hosted a grant process last year. We actually gave $1,000 grant to a performing artist, and we have just about announced who our grant recipient is for the 2026-2027 cycle. We are hoping to have our grant recipient actually come run that workshop. He's an incredibly skilled choreographer, just totally full of energy. He taught me how to do the bachata at one point. Super
Actually,
great
hang on a
guy.
second. Let's just take a step back because I think
Yes.
there needs to be some unpacking going on here. You
Oh
told
no.
me that you can't dance,
I
and
can ballroom dance if I'm
oh,
taught.
okay.
It's like freestyle, like at the club, like I ain't doing that. No way.
I I will make a special trip down and have someone sub in for me if there's an opportunity for you and I to do Dancing with the Stars Blind Edition. I just want to
God.
put that out there.
I'll let him know. I'll
Okay.
plant the seed. I'll plant the
Okay.
seed.
But they
Um,
have to introduce me like they do on Dancing with the Stars. So,
okay, perfect. We'll work
you know,
on it.
dancing the rumba, Lizzie and Murray.
We'll have like sparkly costumes too.
Yeah. Actually, at the Washington State Convention for the Blind NFBW convention, they had a ballroom dancing um, thing going on, competition going on in the next room. So all the
Really?
sparkle costumes were actually out, ready to be seen. Uh, and I'm very partial to the sparkle, especially if
Hmm.
it's in yellow, my favorite color.
There
And
you
there
go.
were some yellow sparkles around,
There you
so
go.
it was great.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we as a division have actually done ballroom dance lessons many a time. That's actually how I learned to tango.
Mm.
I think we did a salsa a couple years ago, and last year we actually did swing dancing. So we're unfortunately not doing one this year, but I'll put a plug in for us to do the Rumba in the next couple years. We'll learn
Yeah.
it. I'm game.
Yeah. All right.
I'm so
Or the
game.
Paso Doble is another one.
Ooh, or like the foxtrot. I feel like the foxtrot could be kind of fun.
Well, the Paso Doble is where I like wave a cape in front of you and you like charge me like a bull. So I think that's gonna
Ooh, wait, I'm a
bring the
Taurus. We'd be so good at
yeah,
that.
yeah, that's gonna bring
That's
the crowd.
perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect. Really fits our personalities
it
too.
sure does.
You taught me and I charge.
Yeah. Hey,
Um, okay, so any questions, Murray, about Division Day?
if if there's a conflict
Mhm,
and someone can't attend a division day, how
mhm.
can they still connect with the division?
I think that's a really great question because there is so much going on that divisions page that I mentioned, if you just Google National Federation of the Blind list of divisions, you get contact information for your respective division's president. And I think connecting with that individual to kind of figure out what that division does throughout the year is always a great plan. Sometimes board meetings are open. You can show up and you can listen. Sometimes membership calls exist, right? Where you can come connect with a community that way throughout the year. And a lot of these entities might be doing other things at conventions. So, if it's, I can't make the sports and rec division meeting, but I'd really like to go to a blind tennis demonstration, Murray, how and when do I do that? Right? That's a lot of it, is you just make those connections any way that you can, right? I mean, you might be
Yep.
able to go sit with that person during general session. There's tons of opportunity.
Absolutely. Yeah. And
Yeah.
just, on a blind tennis note, we will be doing the exhibit hall, which we've already spoken about. We'll
Hmm.
be doing the national championships tournament, which is very exciting. But we'll
Okay.
also have a come and try event as well. So
Okay.
we're doing a lot of different things in convention this year, which is great.
That's awesome. I'm very excited. I'm very
Me
excited.
too.
Awesome. Okay, so days 4, 5, and 6 are relatively similar to each other in that all three of these days have general sessions happening. And general sessions are when everyone gets together. Nothing else is happening during general sessions. Everyone has the opportunity to get together and hear so many updates, not only about our organization internally, but about entities that relate to us as an organization. So we might have somebody from the Department of Transportation come in and talk about autonomous vehicles, right? We have immaculate presidential report from President Riccobono. We get an update on the finances of our organization. We might get updates on the Museum of the Blind People's Movement. It's totally just hours upon hours of really incredible and exciting updates, things that are calls to action. So traditionally, those are happening, let's say, like 9 to noon and then 2 to 5. And various things happen throughout the day around those. So our training centers might have lunches where you can come to an open house to learn about training. Our affiliates might still be hosting some in the exhibit hall and selling different things, or hosting a caucus where they get together to talk about important state-based needs, right? I always encourage, if you have not connected with your state president before attending a national convention, definitely do that. Our rooms are actually, our general session room is divided by state. So it's a great way to connect with your state, or frankly, leaders from states around you, right? It's alphabetically ordered. I remember really great memories of connecting with Indiana's president a couple years back. He immediately just started teasing me because I was sitting behind him having a snack or running my mouth or something. And to this
You
day,
running?
every time I
I
I
can't
know.
believe it.
I
That's
know. But
shocking.
every time I see him, I'm like, Ron Brown. He goes, Elizabeth Rouse, where's my popcorn? We have this great exchange where, that's what connection is. It's all about the connection. And
Shout out
um,
to Mark
that
and Macy,
community.
by the way. Mark, because I'm a dual resident now. Half my
Hmm.
life is in Nevada, half my life is
Yep.
in Washington State. So,
Yep.
Mark and Macy, how you doing?
Mark
Marcy,
and
Marcy.
Marcy.
Yeah,
Yeah, Mark and Marcy.
yeah,
Yes. Marcy Carpenter is the sweetest woman you'll ever meet in your entire life.
he is.
She
And
is
did you know,
so
I think I
funny.
told you, but Norma, the
Yep.
president of Texas, she came up
Yep.
and was the guest national speaker for our
Yes.
state convention. So, love Norma as well. She does a great job in Texas.
Norma was one of my scholarship mentors when I won my scholarship, my first
Told me
national
that.
convention in 2018.
Yeah.
Um, and that woman has carved herself a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you, when you get to know these people, they're not like president of so it's like, oh my gosh, that's Norma. And when Norma really loves you, she sends you goat emojis. And that's Marcy. And when Marcy reads something that you wrote in the Braille monitor that really touches her heart, she messages you on Facebook and she lets you know how meaningful it was. Like they're just these incredible people who just surround you and love on you and build you up into this incredible version of yourself. And oh, I just cannot say enough good things about those women. Oh my God.
Marcy actually got a call from our blind tennis marketing department to complete a survey because she was part of our tennis demonstration.
Yeah.
And she was sweet enough to say, Murray, I just wanted to check in to make sure that nobody was impersonating US blind tennis. And I got this call. I'm like, it's totally legit, Marcy. You
I
can
love
go ahead
her.
and fill it. She's like, I filled in the survey. So, yeah,
Oh my
lovely
gosh.
people who have
She's
dedicated
such
their
a
life
gift.
to blindness and low vision.
Yes.
And so, yeah, you'll meet a lot of those people at convention.
Yes. Yes. And they're always willing to like have that conversation with you too, which I think goes a long way. It's not like, hi, how are you? It's nice to meet you. Bye. It's like, oh my gosh, where are you from? This is your first convention? Like, have you met my friend so and so? And it just keeps giving. Like it's that gift that just keeps giving. It's very meaningful.
Exactly.
Um, so just to kind of quickly wrap up our week, because we are getting to the end of convention, shockingly, it doesn't feel like it when you're there. It's like 6 days that never ends.
Yes,
Um,
true.
there is usually some level of evening entertainment. I will give the shameless plug. The second to last night of convention, the penultimate evening, is the showcase of talent. I will be master of ceremonies singing again this year. And we've got a super fun panel of judges. Our tech guy is just the most hilarious man. We're gonna have a blast. We're gonna have an absolute blast. It's gonna be a night full of laughs and fun and goofing around. Maybe I'll get Murray to come like
Are
sing a song,
we
have
up
a
for best
talent.
podcast?
Yeah, we could enter for our
Are
podcast.
we nominated for best podcast? I think we should.
It's not an award show,
Oh,
goofball. It's a showcase. So we'd have to go like have talent.
okay. We've
We
got
could just do stand
28%
up where we just
plus
roast each
downloads.
other.
Of course, we've got talent. What are you talking about?
Yeah, we could just do stand up while we roast each
Yeah,
other. That
yeah.
would actually be our
That will get
um
crowds in for sure.
Yes. And then of course I would be completely remiss if I did not acknowledge the banquet, which is always the final night of convention. President Riccobono gives an incredibly impactful banquet address, addressing something in the blind people's movement that has been weighing on his heart for any number of reasons. Um, the banquet is a place where awards are given, where scholarship finalists are recognized, they become winners. All sorts of things happen at this banquet. And if you register for convention, which you can do anytime between now and the end of May, you can pre-register. And then you can register in person at convention as well. I always say pre-register because then you don't have to wait in the really long line. You can go to the line that moves a lot quicker. Um, if you register, you are not only eligible for door prizes during general session, you're also, if you're at banquet, you're eligible for like a huge prize that wink, wink, nudge, nudge usually matches up to the year that convention is held in. And I don't know about you, Murray, but I'm not out here scoffing at $2,026.
Or they can rub elbows with us as well at the banquet. So that's not to be said. I mean, it's nearly as
Yeah,
impressive as getting
yeah. And
$2,026.
if you're really nice and you sitting next to me, I might steal your dessert. So like it's basically a win-win-win, honestly, for
I
everyone.
might not. I definitely will steal your.
Wait, okay. This is actually so funny. My friends and I, we rate banquet desserts.
Mm.
Like this is our thing. A couple years ago, we had like a lemon tart. And it was like a sour dessert, not like a sweet dessert. And
Right.
I just so distinctly like everyone was like, I hate this. And I was like, are you kidding me? This is divine. I think I ate like four. I got so tummy sick after the fact, but it was worth it. It was so worth it.
Lemon's your thing, right? The
I
sour,
do like
the
lemon. I
sour.
like sour. I mean, I like sweet too. Like, don't get me wrong. I ain't out here scoffing at like tuxedo cheesecake, but it was just like so unexpected. It was like a little lemon tart. It was divine. I
I
was a
will
huge
have to say that when we did our workshop, we did have the best baked New York cheesecake. And there's
oh,
something to be said for traditional New York baked cheesecake. It's a,
absolute standard. Just
it's
like
a
a
winner.
staple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Underappreciated art. But so if you want to come hang out with me and Marie at Banquet this year, and rate the desserts, you're more than welcome to. It's going to be a blast. Again, July through the 8th, happening in Austin, Texas. I will give you all the heads up if you're reserving your hotel. The main hotel is full. The overflow hotel is close by. It's really not far this year from what I've been told. Also still another, Marriott property. It's going to be a blast and you don't want to miss it. It is a week full of learning and friendship building and laughter and challenge, right? I mean, it's let's see what we've accomplished and let's see what we have yet to do. And you want to be a part of it. Trust me.
And networking.
Yeah,
Like Lizzie and I met each other at a national convention, and now
we
look at it.
did.
We're killing the
Yep.
podcast world.
And we're friends.
Yes. We're friends with banter, lots of banter. Lizzie texted me before this episode, and she's like, "Dude, I think we're getting a tornado or a massive storm. Of the sirens are going off, and I don't know if we're going to be able to do the podcast." And I was in another meeting at the time, looking at my text. I'm like, "Okay," and then she texts me, and she's like, "I think we're in the clear." And so then before the podcast started recording, I'm like, "Okay, so wait." Do you get different tones for whether it's a
Yeah.
hurricane or whether it's
Nope.
a thunderstorm? She's like,
Nope.
nope. I'm like, so everyone's just like ragdogging it into their hurricane shelters and tornado shelters.
Well, we don't
And
have hurricanes. We'd have a
right,
derecho if we
yeah,
had anything.
yeah,
But yeah, tornado, extreme thunderstorm. I just feel bad for my cat. My cat was just running around like a crazy person. And I was like, I don't know how I'm expected to capture you and take you down to the basement. Like,
right,
if we're supposed to go shelter, which, like, we're from the Midwest, right? Like, we
yeah,
very rarely actually go down to the basement during
right.
storms because a lot of the time it's just like not as severe. Um, but fortunately, it is light outside again. I asked my mom if she wanted to go for a bike ride in the middle of the downpour, and she was like, "Yeah, I don't think we'd get very far." And I was like, "Not with that attitude." So maybe
Now,
tomorrow we'll go
I
for a
do
bike
have to
ride.
say, I feel like I've been in a bigger tornado than you have,
Probably.
because I went and saw Wizard of Oz at the Sphere,
Mm,
and the one that picked up Dorothy's house, I've been
hmm.
in as well, virtually.
There you go.
Yeah,
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 you
that's
got me.
yeah, I got you. Um, no cats, but we did get Toto.
Well, cats are better than dogs, but like, come for me.
That's not true,
That's
but
okay. You could be a dog person. I feel like you have dog person energy and I just don't. Like it's
you
fine.
just don't. Yeah.
No.
Well, I don't know that you don't, because I think dog person energy is like alpha energy, and you certainly have alpha energy. So
See,
I
but
would
here's my
disagree with
thing.
that.
If a dog is like pretty chill, I don't like yippy dogs. I don't like barky dogs. Like if a dog is like, "Hey babe, take me for a walk and then we'll go for a nap," right? I'm like,
Yeah.
"Deal. Let's go." Like if a dog chooses me,
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. I'm just like I'm not picking poop up out of the yard. Like it's just not
Here's
gonna
the
happen.
thing, right? Okay. You say that, but then do you really want your Christmas tree to be up with a cat around? Like, okay, Christmas is my season, right? I would have
Hmm.
to forego everything in Christmas if I had a cat, because this thing is just feral and jumping up and clawing at branches and taking all the, uh, you
It
know,
depends on the cat.
all the things off the tree. No, and then the other thing is, okay, where I prepare food, I don't want my cat walking around and shedding on where I have to prepare my food. All right. Like,
I mean, like clean your kitchen.
I mean, like,
Also, my cat doesn't climb on the stove and he doesn't climb on countertops. He
well, he
sleeps
didn't
on the
climb on the
kitchen
stove after
table.
the first time. Hot
Yeah.
plates will get you.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we're done talking about cats and dogs because we're never going to agree on this.
We aren't. That's true.
Ugh, it's fine.
So,
Okay.
convention is fantastic. Networking, meeting people, having fun, being in an environment that you feel part of, and a
Hmm.
community that you feel part of.
Yeah.
So, this convention You're going to come to convention. You're going to stay in the overflow hotel. You're going to walk however many miles it is to the regular
It's
hotel.
not even a mile. It's
You
really
are
close.
going to participate in Lizzie's Dancing with the Stars. You are going to participate in my national championships. You're going to
Hmm.
come to our booth and say g'day. You're going to buy a
Nice.
tennis ball and a tennis t-shirt, brand new
Hmm.
merchandise, really
Ooh,
gear, flash, new logo, new merchandise, tactile.
fancy.
It's going to be fun,
Mhm.
and then we can hang out and do whatever we do when we hang out.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Grab a drink, grab a seat, have some conversation. It's always a
yeah.
fun time. I would also just give the plug, depending on when this episode goes up and whether this is for this year or a following year. If this is your first national convention experience, you are wanted and welcome to apply for the Kenneth Jernigan Scholarship Fund. Jernigan scholarships are awarded to first-time attendees only, and they're a financial amount specified by the committee that really helps you offset the burden of convention. Whether you're traveling as an individual, whether you're traveling with your family, always an available option to you. Google Kenneth Jernigan Scholarship Fund or National Federation of the Blind Kenneth Jernigan Fund. Tons of information out there. Applications are due April 15th of every year. So if you don't get in on it this year, get in on it next year. You won't regret it.
I'm gonna be whipping Theo to get this up and running pretty quickly because I
There you
think that's
go.
a great opportunity for
It
people
is.
to apply. So you should have, roughly 2 weeks to apply once this podcast is up and running.
Absolutely.
Go do it, people.
Yes. Okay, Murray, because I did this in reverse order, I'm going to use the Kenneth Jernigan Scholarship Fund as my resource for the week. Do you have a resource for the week for us?
I do. US Blind Tennis has actually just launched all of their social media platforms.
Hmm.
And so if you are interested in blind or low vision tennis, blind and low vision tennis,
Hmm.
then you should go to search on any platform. Um, Let me see. We've got TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, X, and LinkedIn. So we're on all the major platforms. Why are you laughing?
I just deleted my LinkedIn last week. It was
Boo.
the most freeing sensation of my adult life.
What?
They send me so many notifications and I hated
They
it. I
do?
hated it so much.
Oh. Uh,
Oh,
don't listen to her. I just told everybody that they needed to have a LinkedIn profile to be able to download it.
professionals do. Professionals absolutely. I just don't like it. It doesn't feel
She's
authentic
just
to
not a
me.
professional. We get it.
Apparently, I'm not a grown up, but it's fine. Whatever. I deleted my ex too.
Uh,
Yeah, like years ago. And I don't have a
well, I
gram.
told you we haven't got to the dating part yet, all right?
Hmm.
So you can't delete your ex until we get to the dating.
Oh my God, get out. Okay, so should I give the people what they want?
Yeah, I mean, dating with Lizzie, there's been some pretty advanced things going on here. We're like halfway in a week's time, or 2 weeks' time, I guess it's been, but we're halfway from first date to marriage.
Stop. No,
You
we're
can
not. I
you
never
can
said
kind
that.
of talk us through the parent to parent meeting
Stop. Oh my
projectile
gosh, stop. Don't give all the deets.
that
Don't spoil all my fun. The conciseness is niceness version, and the teaser that I will leave you with for our next episode is I have gone on 2 dates. I'm going on a third date here in the next couple days. Um, and after the second date, I silenced notifications on my Hinge and deleted it off my home
Oh,
screen.
wow.
So
This is big news.
I point blank asked him, I was like, so are we like seeing other people? Or are we not seeing other people? Like, what's the vibe here? And he's like, he
Oh,
literally said, you want to delete the apps right now? And I was like,
wow. See, this is okay. This is dating 101, peeps. Okay. If you are a man and you want commitment and you say, do you want to delete your apps right now? You're in. Like just that term alone
no,
of
I would not
putting
say that.
yourself out there and
Mm-mm.
committing to the other in a
I
way
think
that
it
is
has
like
to fit the vibe.
so emotionally secure.
Mm-mm. No, it has to fit the vibe. It
And then
can't
the
just be
next day,
anyone.
he turned up with a ring, right, that sparkles.
No.
He's like, "Here, I'm on my
Stop.
knee. Do it. Let's
Oh my
do it."
gosh. No. No
This
way.
guy does not have phobia issues. That's good to see.
He doesn't have any pet frogs.
He also might be on the most wanted list. So check that out.
No, 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 no. Okay. I literally asked him if he could pass a federal background check and he said yes.
What?
Yeah. He
Okay,
Previous
ladies,
employers.
ladies,
Pre
these are
previous
things not
employers.
to ask your prospective partner.
Bro,
Would you pass a
man,
federal background check?
I one time asked a man
That's on the do not
unironically,
ask list, Lizzie.
listen to me. I one time asked a man in the middle of our Hinge conversation what his credit score was, and he was just like, "Oh yeah, it's like a 172." And I was like,
What?
"Nice. I can keep talking."
172?
Yeah.
I think if you were in debt and bankrupt 47 times, your credit score still wouldn't be 172. What is this person doing?
Oh, sorry, not a 172, a 772.
Oh, okay, that's a lot
Sorry.
better because
Sorry.
172 is
I
like
mixed up the number.
morally, mentally, and fiscally bankrupt over and over and over again.
I die on the hill, and this is where we're gonna leave this. I die on the hill. I don't have the patience to mess around with dating anymore. If I want to know a man's credit score, I'm just gonna ask. And here's my thing is if he can't handle the like goofiness that is my personality, I don't want
He's not.
it.
He's not for Lizzie.
I
If
don't
you
want
can't pass a federal background check, a lie detector test, a credit score evaluation, then definitely you're not for Lizzie.
if you can't pass a federal background and you don't feel comfortable telling me your credit score,
Yeah.
I hope you find your person, babe. It's just not me, you
Yeah.
know?
What about if he hesitates and then he's like, it's an eight, it's like a 874.
Can you even have a credit score that high?
I mean, you're assisting that you can have a credit score at 172. So I
Okay, but I
thought you
was
could have.
wrong on my numbers. I meant a 772, you butt. We're done. Cut the
See,
episode. We're
see, it's
done.
like for those of you who love wrestling, as an example, right? Currently, we're going into WrestleMania season, and the main event is CM Punk versus Roman Reigns, and they're playing this war where it's about like who can get the most under the other's skin.
Wait, CM Punk is still relevant in professional wrestling?
Yeah, he's from Chicago, actually. You should love him.
Oh no, 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 no. I did when I watched he was big when I was in middle school.
He's the
Is his
current world
intro
champ.
still the cult of personality?
Yeah, yeah,
What a banger.
yeah.
Nice.
So, so he is the current world champion, and Roman Reigns was the former world champion, and so they go
Wow.
back and forth, right? And they're just like verb blasting each other,
Yeah.
and it's fun to watch. I feel like that's what we do is we troll for points,
Yeah.
and and whoever
Can
can
I
get,
be CM Punk?
whoever get under the other person's skin, well, you can be whoever you want, but
I want to be CM Punk.
I just like totally blew you out of the water by you're like, okay, we're done.
Yeah, we're done. I
Yeah,
quit.
I win this round, so good luck for
Yes. We have a good time, and that's what matters.
that's what matters. Hey, we're
Yeah.
up 28% in the ratings. You can't say that we're not doing well.
You know what? That means at least our moms are listening. I'm just
That's
kidding.
right. I mean, I think a cousin might have downloaded last week, put us over the edge.
You guys are doing
Good
great.
stuff.
But thank you guys so much for joining us for episode 16 of Changing the Narrative. We are hopeful you'll join us at this year's national convention. If you are unable to make it this year, there are some online options, and we would love to see you next year or any year. Please feel free to drop us questions, drop us comments. If there's something you want us to talk about, if there's something you want us to tackle, to explore, please let us know. And we will see you next time on episode 17 of Changing the Narrative.
Episode 17.
Woo!
It continued. Thank you, Lizzie.
See you, Marie.
Bye.